So this is my second review of my new Aipas M2 Pro bike that I received about 3 days ago. I was hoping to do some on-road videos, but we have been inundated with rain the past couple days. I did get a chance to take it out for put about 8 miles on it, so I'll go over that in a minute. I just wanted to mention a couple of the issues I did have assembling the bike. Probably the most difficult was the rear fender. The rear fender comes with only one screw attached down here at the bottom, which is very hard to see because it's in between the tire, but it was adjusted so far that I could not get this screw to go in as that bracket was way too high. And the Allen key wouldn't fit in there, so I just waited until I had to flip the bike upside down to install the front wheel, and then I was able to loosen that screw and make the adjustments on the fender so I could securely attach it. Outside of that, one of the things, if you are going to do slime in your tires, when you have the bike upside down, is probably going to be the best time to do it. I had my bike on the kickstand, and when I deflated the tires, the bead popped off of both of the tires. So I ended up putting it upside down again and getting the tires to reseat, and then completed that process of putting in the slime. Outside of that, unpacking it was probably the longest part. It probably took about 20 minutes because these things do come very well packaged and with like 100 zip ties on them at least. And so that was probably the biggest part of it outside the fender. The one thing I did have is one of the bolts on right here for the rear rack was stripped out. And so I am going to have to replace that with a bolt and a nut, and luckily the hole does go all the way through. Turning it upside down, you cannot do it like a regular bike where you put on the rear brake and flip it over, because you will smash the rear fender. So you literally have to pick it up and turn it upside down, and it does weigh about 90 pounds, so just be aware of that. One of the things I wasn't really thrilled about was the pedals. Being a bike mechanic, you know, they should spin freely, and they don't, so that does add a little extra effort when you're using it in the pedal mode. Outside of that, the bike performed really well. Got right up to speed really quick. I did delete and unlock the computer on it so that it will do 32 miles an hour on a flat road surface with no problem. I did take it out onto a dirt trail and was pretty impressed. There was a lot of gravel next to the railroad tracks, and it's very thick, big rocks, and it powered through that effortlessly, and I could not have done that on my regular mountain bike before. So that was a good thing. I'd say the worst thing I found out with it was the braking power. This bike is heavy, and so my driveway is a gravel driveway, and it's on a fairly steep incline, and it took pretty much as hard as you can pull those brake levers to slow it down and stop it before I hit the road. So it took at least 5 to 6 times further to stop it than my regular pedal mountain bike would have taken to stop it. Other than that, be careful when you first go to remove the battery. There is that key lock right there, and you unlock that, and then there's this knob underneath that you turn, and when you turn that, the battery will fall out. So you want to make sure you've got a hold on it. If it falls onto the concrete, it's probably going to break. Like I said, the bike performed really well. It does take a little bit of getting used to with the pedal assist modes, but once you get the hang of it, which doesn't take very long, it is really a fun bike to ride. I did notice going up steeper hills in like pedal assist mode 5, with no pedaling, it would not make it up the hill. So don't expect it to climb hills in San Francisco or Portland or anything like that. It's just not going to do it. Other than that, the battery charging initially took almost 4 or 5 hours. After I had put about 8 hours on the bike, or 8 miles on the bike. I hooked it back up to charge it. It had only used 1 bar, and it still took almost 4 hours to replenish that 1 bar. So I do hope to post some videos riding it, and I will let you know after that. But all in all, even though the color wasn't what it was supposed to be, Aipas did offer me a free gift to choose from. So I did choose the better seat that they have as an option. And still waiting for my second bike that I ordered at the same time, which was one of the folding bikes. So anyways, if you have any questions, leave a message below and I will get back to you. Thank you.